everybody. We are back. My next guest tonight has reached the summit of Mount Everest 4 times. Now, in the next few weeks, he has a Nova documentary airing on PBS and an IMAX movie that's supposed to be amazing opening that was filmed atop Mount Everest. Please welcome a very brave and talented filmmaker, David Breashears. Now, I read this book, I guess I read it a couple of months ago by John Krakauer, about the expedition, you know, to go up Everest.
Into thin air.
Into thin air. And like an idiot, I always thought, oh, okay, you climb Everest, it's just climbing any other mountain for a really long time. And then you get to the top. Apparently, I didn't realize this, but when you start to get close to the top, the air gets really thin. And all these things start happening to your body, to anybody who tries to climb. Tell people some of the stuff that happens to you.
The summit day.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we would have been on the mountain for 70 days, probably. Right. Base camp, 17,600 feet. The summit day is 26,000 to 1,000 feet to 29,028 feet.
Okay.
You're hypoxic. You're oxygen deprived.
Hypoxic means you're not getting enough oxygen.
Not getting enough air. You're breathing 1/3 of the oxygen that people here in this studio are breathing at sea level. You've been on the go for 53 hours, 55 hours with only 3 hours of sleep.
Right.
You're dehydrated. Mm-hmm. You're malnourished. And those are the joys of high-altitude mountaineering.
And people, when they get hypoxic, start acting stupid. They start doing stupid things.
Yeah, we call it kind of altitude stupid. It's just, they're not funny things. We don't do funny things.
You don't do...
We can make mistakes.
Right.
Hopefully I don't make mistakes when I'm pointing my camera at my subject, because then they get mad and yell at me. You don't say take two at 29,000
But
feet.
Literally, people make kind of mistakes that could cost them their life. They make mistakes that could cost other people their lives because they're just, it's almost like watching people that are kind of drunk. Like anything else.
Yes, it's a trance-like state.
Right.
People are not doing very well. You got to figure in being sleep deprived.
Right.
That seriously sleep deprived is a extreme situation. And we had this tragedy in 1996.
Right.
Into thin air.
It's about that, and everyone knows this story.
Bad decisions. I was there with this big IMAX camera.
Mm-hmm. And you knew a bunch of the people that were killed.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, they were our friends.
Yeah.
But we went back in '97 to do the show for Nova, to look into the high-altitude physiology and especially how it affects the way we think and how we make decisions up high.
And you have to keep in mind, you're climbing this mountain, you're not getting enough air, people are in pain when they're climbing, and you're carrying this camera, which is an IMAX camera. This is a little different than the disposable thing.
This is our handy little pocket-sized IMAX camera. That's right. And this is not the real thing. It's a wooden mock-up.
Right.
So thankfully, I didn't have to carry it. But it weighs 42 pounds. It breaks down into several different pieces. This comes off, the lens comes off.
Do you have room to pack? I mean, what kind of stuff do you take for your own personal comfort when you go on a trip up Everest? What are you bringing with you? Do you bring a toothbrush?
Yeah, we bring a toothbrush, but...
do you bring books, like a book to read?
Half. You cut it in half to go to 26,000 feet.
No, you don't. Are you being serious?
Well, you know, you want to get as little amount of weight in your pack as possible.
So you just pretty much bring the bristles of the brush?
Yes, that's all we need.
And you hold it like this, and you go like that?
Yeah, and we take something I think you could use, those handy wipes.
The handy wipes? You bring them? Why do you bring those? That's what you bathe with, pretty much?
So we wash our hands after.
Right. Okay. There's no need to... I'm not going to push on and investigate that area.
But we have this camera. We have a lot of film. That's the real problem, the film.
We have actually, speaking of film, we have film of the top of Everest, which you shot.
Oh, that's great.
Can we roll that right now?
Yeah, I'm going to put this down.
This is pretty amazing. Yeah, yeah. Take a look at this.
David, we read you loud and clear. Where are you? Over.
Howard, I'm on top of the world. We made it. I'm on the summit of Mount Everest, 29,028 feet. I'm here with David Carter, Ed Breashears. I can see everywhere. It's just so beautiful. I'm not going to be able to stay here very long.
Now, what's interesting about being at the top of Everest What's interesting about being up there is you can't stay up there very long, can you?
No.
Because you stay up there too long, a storm could come up, a tragedy could occur.
Storms,
So
and you're going downhill very rapidly.
by the time
There's no oxygen.
this is airplane height level.
Right.
You know, this
Yeah.
is like a jet liner. This is how high it's
If
going.
you want to know what it's like, then go suck all of the air out of a meat locker and live in it for 70 days.
I did that.
Yeah, that's good. But
It was a
that's-
fraternity prank. Yeah.
Right.
But so how did you personally feel when you finally got to the summit? That's just got to be an amazing feeling.
You would like to think that's true, but it isn't. The state you're in.
There's a Starbucks there, isn't there? Yeah.
You order a cappuccino.
Right.
Then you head down.
Why isn't it? It
Because
should be the
of-
greatest moment of your life.
Because you're tired. You've been on the go for 60 days.
Right.
2 months. It's time to head home. And you got a team to think about. I was the leader of my team.
Right.
We knew very well what had happened 2 weeks before. It's
Right.
noon. The weather's still nice. And you're not thinking about how great it is to stand on Everest for the 3rd or 4th time. You're thinking about the finish line is not on the summit. It's back at base camp.
Right.
It's time to head down.
Right. So
You're
literally,
tired.
this whole long project, you finally get to the top, and there's time to go. Right. Cool. And then
Yeah,
you
that's
just
up.
you get back in the minivan and go.
Been here, done that. Time to go down.
It's an amazing it's an amazing thing, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing the IMAX Everest because
It's a great. It's
because
wonderful.
I'm told that you really feel like you've been on that trip.
Well, the reason we took that big camera is so you can see Everest on a screen 80 feet high and 100 feet wide.
Didn't they do a Rolling Stones
Yes, they
IMAX
did.
film? So there's a giant
Mick Jagger
Keith
face,
Richards
yeah.
face that's as tall
80
as
feet high.
9 buildings
Yeah,
or whatever.
it's a compelling
His
sight.
teeth are terrible. Yeah. My God. All right. Well, I think this was the better use of that technology. Nova's Everest, The Death Zone, airs Tuesday, February 24th at 8 p.m. on PBS. And the IMAX Everest is going to be available in March. And if people can get to an IMAX theater, try and check it out. David Breashears, thanks so much
Thank
for coming
you very
by.
much. Thank you.
Fascinating. So we'll take a break. We'll be right back. Stick around.